Good morning. I have a very special bribe that I'd like to share with you, which is a GoPro Hero 8 Black. I'm going to tell you about how you can grab yours in just a few moments. And while we're doing this, we're going to talk about the fastest way to kill your business. And the reason why I want to hook you up with this camera is going to tie into this idea. So the challenge, as I've mentioned before, as it pertains to building a successful business, excuse me, especially if it's a virtual one, still very applicable to brick and mortar. Maybe a little bit less so, but still very applicable. But 1,000% true with anything you're doing online is this. And I mentioned this before, is that you may have seen the movie The Field of Dreams, right? Build it and they will come. Doesn't happen on the internet. Okay, it doesn't happen on the internet. And the easiest way for you to understand this is type in the keywords you want people to find you for, and if your website doesn't come up, there you go, okay? So if you want to be known for weight loss, as an example, type that into Google and try to find your website. If you're found on like the 1 millionth page, you're not alone. Most people are, and that's because there is a huge amount of competition. There's trillions of pages on the internet of content and websites. And for us regular people to compete with the Dr. Oz's and WebMDs.com is never going to happen. Now, what about social media, right? Social media, there's a huge amount of noise. And the thing is, like, the lifespan of any social post is a couple of minutes, right? People see it, they scroll, and then it's gone. And all of this means that build it and they will come doesn't exist on the internet because no one pays attention to anything. So the most important thing, that the number one currency that we're all dealing with is attention. Because money goes, or money flows where attention goes. So if you can command people's attention, that's the number one objective in your business. And the fastest way to kill your business is to simply not be known by anyone. That's it, right? Because how is someone supposed to work with you if they don't even know you exist? It's really simple, right? So how do you go from invisible to visible? Well, hopefully you understand, if you've watched my stuff or listened to my stuff, that it's not going to happen by playing the organic free game. It's simply not going to happen. And I want you to be very, you have to be very realistic about this, okay? Like, I have no vested interest in Facebook or Google PPC, like none of that stuff. I'm just very realistic, and I see so many business owners struggle because they're not willing to pay to play. And I don't understand this. Like, listen, I understand why, obviously. But here's the way I think about this, especially if you have a brick and mortar practice. You know, if you think of the typical practice, you spend thousands of dollars on lease or rent, or if you own the building, you purchased it. Then all the equipment, then insurance, then staff, then everything else. But when it comes to doing stuff on the internet, like marketing, it's like, well, I'm going to do everything for free. And that simply is not going to work. It can work, but it's going to take you a huge amount of sweat equity and a long time. And I don't think you have either one if you're busy already, right? So here's the thing, is the other reason that those odds are stacked against you is because Facebook has publicly said, if you want to play, you need to pay. And that's really simple because how many of you have ever posted something on Facebook, for instance, like this video, right? There are thousands of people within our community that should see this video, but only a select few will. And that's because of the way the algorithm works. 2% of your followers are going to see anything you post like this organically on Facebook. Instagram isn't much better because it's owned by Facebook. And if you have a more engaged audience on Instagram or Facebook, that's awesome. But even, you know, if you have, like what everyone has, like 5,000 fake friends on Facebook on your personal profile, and you post something, not all 5,000 of those people are going to see anything. On your business page, it's even worse. And the name of the game is, like, if no one sees your stuff, how are they supposed to work with you? How are they supposed to buy from you? How are you supposed to generate revenue, right? And help people? You can't. And so this whole idea of obscurity and being invisible is a major problem that you have to be willing to step out of in order to be more visible, right? So this goes back to the GoPro 8, is why on earth would this help? Well, one of the best ways to be more visible is to like physically be more visible. Put useful content out into the marketplace. Put some money behind it. Boost it to the people that you want to see your stuff. And that is going to do better than if you just posted a video and nothing happens, right? So, yeah, because here's the thing, guys, like we don't do business with people. The best product doesn't win. The best known product wins. Does that make sense? This is why companies spend billions of dollars a year on branding, right? Billboards, TV commercials that have no direct call to action. And you're thinking like, what is this? What is the purpose of this commercial? Like, why am I looking at this? Why would this company spend thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy this airspace on TV for what? And the reason for that is because the biggest companies on the planet understand the power of branding. And for us, most of what we're doing is direct response marketing, which is we put a marketing message out there that has a direct call to action that we can track so we can say, oh, cool, I spent $1 here, I made $5 in return. I can track that, that's important. And it's very important. But the bigger your business gets, and I'm talking like, Fortune 500 level, the less those companies care about that because they understand the number one thing they want to command in the marketplace is attention and visibility. And they're willing to pay for that. So I'm not saying that we have to play that game at that level, but you have to think about how do I become more visible? And the only way, there's two ways, okay? The way number one is that you simply produce so much content that you are posting on social media 20 to 30 times a day. And I'm serious about this. It sounds obscene, but that's literally what it takes. Now, obviously different platforms, have different posting frequencies. Like you wouldn't post that many times on Facebook per day, but on Twitter for sure, Instagram maybe a little bit less. But if you're posting once a day, once a week, it's just like, it's a blip on the radar and it just disappears. And so you can't really win by playing that game. And yes, are people going to get annoyed if they see your stuff all the time? That's a thought that happens. Sure, some people might be, but who cares? If you're adding good stuff into the marketplace, goodwill, for the most part, most people will be like, man, this person's adding so much value. And you're going to be top of mind in their world when they think of, I need to solve this problem. Oh, that person that I keep seeing all the time seems to be the person for that. Think of the elections. Now, I guess there's an election in the US coming up this year. And I remember when Trump first ran for president years ago, I told my wife, and this was 18 months out, 18 months before the election, I told her, I said, he is going to win the presidency. And the only reason I said that was because he was getting the most attention. And I don't necessarily, obviously, I don't think he's the best human on the planet. I would not be surprised if he won again because humans are irrational. We do not choose the best candidate. We choose the best known candidate in most cases. And listen, if he wins, whatever. But I would not be surprised. And so the name of the game, guys, is you have to understand that humans are irrational and we make decisions based on things that we see. We fundamentally believe that things that we see more often are more credible. Think of the whole idea of celebrity. Why would perfumes, clothing brands, etc., why would they pay millions of dollars for a celebrity to endorse their products? Because they understand that people have this attribution to celebrities that is the highest form. Think of this. The highest form of social proof is celebrity. We all know that social proof is important, right? And it's a very, very, a lot of people make decisions based on show me the proof, right? So if you have more proof, that's better. But think of celebrity, right? Just think of The Rock. He has, I don't even know, but let's just, when I did have an Instagram account and I was on my phone, 150 million followers. He probably has more now. 150 million people follow The Rock. That's the ultimate social proof. That is the ultimate social proof. 150 million people are willing to consume The Rock's stuff in their lives, right? On their feed, or maybe they buy his stuff, whatever. They watch his movies. That is the ultimate form of social proof. And that's all about visibility, right? So he is more visible than someone else who might have a very similar message, right? I think John Cena is an example of someone who, just based on his trajectory, is kind of becoming the next Rock. But John Cena is maybe, to most people, far less known simply because he's far less known, right? But eventually he might become the next Rock. He might become the next, that level. And so the name of the game, guys, is I often say life is like high school. It's a popularity contest. That's what this is, right? And it's weird because you also have to play the game not giving a shit about what people think about you. And that's one of the challenges, is that when you start to put yourself out there and when you start to post a lot and put a lot of stuff out into the marketplace to become more visible, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get some backlash. You're going to get some haters. You're going to get some people that are talking smack, and that's okay. That means that at least people are seeing your stuff now. But we could play safe and we could say, you know what, I don't want to deal with criticism, so I'm not going to put myself out there. I don't want to deal with failure, so I'm not even going to try. And that is how you kill your business. And when I talk about virtual, I mean like you have a presence online and you want people to find you. They're not going to find you unless you're visible. And the easiest way to be visible is, as I just said, number one, is you just post like a maniac. If you look at the frequency of people like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, listen, I've spoken with them and I understand what's going on behind their businesses. The frequency and cadence and volume of the free stuff they put out there is insane. It's crazy. You can't, as a single individual, even compete with that. So the second option, so option number one is sweat equity, grind and hustle, put everything out for free and do it at a high level that you probably can't even sustain. Option number two is you get strategic about the stuff you put out there. You shoot a video, for instance, or you put a message up on Facebook and you say, Facebook, I'm going to give you a couple of dollars a day or more to show this message to more people. And so now Facebook becomes your blog. Instead of you writing a blog post that no one sees, you put up a piece of content on Facebook, put money behind it, that's called a Facebook ad, and now Facebook shows it to more people who are your perfect audience. And if it's tied into the right type of pipeline, then you get a return on your investment if it's done properly. That is the fastest way to become relevant in your marketplace. And it's, would it be amazing if we could just do everything for free and like people would see our stuff? Totally, but that's not the case. For like a dental clinic, there's a lot of dentists in my area, but I don't know where they are. And the reason for that is because when I go to the store, a lot of times they're on the second floor in some obscure like second floor location. I can't see that compared to Loblaws, the grocery store, big sign, I can't miss it. And so guys, I hope this makes sense. The name of the game is being visible. If you want to kill your business, you stay obscure and invisible. It's really that simple. Now the question is going to come down to, are you willing to do what you need to do to be more visible? And that's a simple question, right? And you have to understand the two different pathways that I've just shown you. And if there's another pathway that I'm unaware of, please let me know, but I don't think there is. Because I've been doing this for so long and I've done both. And so anyways, so here's where this comes in. So I actually have this kicking around in my office. I actually, before we went to Australia, we actually have another GoPro that's charging right now. Somehow we have two of these. And I'm like, why do we have a second GoPro? And it's been sitting in my office for like 9 months now. So I'm like, why don't I just give this away? And so that's what I want to do. And so here's the catch. This is a $350 US value, so $400 million Canadian. I want to give this to you for free, but here's the catch, is you have to have a ticket to join us at our Healthpreneur Live event. September 25th, September 26th, we're going to show you how to build a successful virtual practice, and I'm going to give you everything, right? Nuts, like there's no, like, we're going deep, you're going to leave with super, super actionable stuff, a much clearer idea of what exactly to do online, and you're going to hear from myself, my team, and four of the world's leading experts on business growth. Nicholas Kuzmich, the world's leading Facebook ad strategist. Garrett Gunderson, the world's leading wealth guru for entrepreneurs. Todd Herman, one of the world's leaders on mindset and champions mindset. He wrote a best-selling book called The Alter Ego Effect. And then Eli Wild, who is Tony Robbins' top sales guy for the past 10 plus years. Every single year he has outperformed the entire sales team combined by himself. So they're going to show you exactly what you need to know to build a successful business. And here's the best part, guys. We've made this event. I spent more money last night on Uber Eats. We ordered 4 pizzas from Queen Margherita Pizza, and that order was more than the ticket price of Healthpreneur Live. And it's really simple. If you want this little bribe, then what we're going to do is on Friday night, on September 25th, Friday night, we're having a virtual dance party. We're having a virtual party on the Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be announcing the winner of this GoPro at the party on the Friday evening. But again, it's only for those who are attending Healthpreneur Live. There should be a link around this video. Go to healthpreneurgroup.com/live. The event is Friday, September 25th. And Saturday, September 26th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, both days. Listen, I understand you're busy. I understand you have stuff going on. I understand you might be working. But if you're happy with that, awesome. But if you know your current situation needs to be different than where you want to be in the future, you got to make some sacrifices. You know, oh, like I'm busy all day. Great, awesome. Your future isn't that important to you, right? If you say you want to build something different than what you're currently doing, right? Because those who succeed in life, there's really I've noticed a really simple distinction. Those who fail in life always find a reason why they can't do something. Oh, I'm busy, it's snowing, it's darker than I thought it was going to be. It's like whatever the excuse is, right? And those who succeed just find a way to make it work. So it's up to you, right? Like I understand the event is not for everyone, but if you're a practitioner or a health expert and you want to build a successful online presence, to work with people virtually, or even to use the internet to support your brick and mortar, it doesn't matter. This is the event to be at, right? Normally we charge $3,000 a person when we do this event live, but because this year, obviously because of the pandemic, it's virtual. And that obviously allows us to save a lot on overhead, so we pass the savings on to you. So again, this is an example. Are you willing to pay to play? And if you're not willing to pay the cost of Uber Eats dinner, not much else I can do. So anyways, this is the camera. If you want it free, you might be able to win it. Healthpreneur Live. Go to the link around this video. Grab your spot if you haven't already. It's going to be an amazing event. So anyways, I hope this video has found you well. Don't be obscure. Get visible. Get your message out there. And hope you have an amazing day.